Every single year, it's the same story, but this time, it is the biggest scandal in the history of football. We've just seen the biggest robbery live on television because how? How is VAR robbing this completely legal Julian Alvarez penalty? I cannot believe what we've just witnessed. I'm not even trying to rage bait. I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can right now. I've watched the clip over 10 times. I've watched Julian Alvarez kick that ball 10 times. And not once has he touched the ball twice. Not once. And let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he does touch it twice. How the hell is it even going to VAR? Only Real Madrid in a penalty shootout with a penalty in their favour go to VAR. Sooner that people realize the Real Madrid, every single Champions League that they've won throughout the history has been on calls like this. Just robbing teams in broad daylight. The sooner the world will be a better place. This is beyond embarrassing for the sport of football. If people still rate Real Madrid after this, I'm sorry for you. You guys do not have a functioning brain because this is just, I cannot describe with words what we see. The biggest robbery ever.
I cannot make this up. Real Madrid have found a way to win again. This time via penalty shootout, man. And I thought Atletico Madrid, after 27 seconds, have scored. Conor Gallagher, the former Chelsea midfielder, got on the score sheet. And it was a perfect game plan by Atletico. After that, there was no urge to try and go forward. They stayed organised and they had chances. Julian Alvarez had a few chances on target. I think he had three shots on target throughout the whole game. And Madrid, they looked absolutely lost. Sideways football. There was no chemistry. Mbappe could not get in the game. Vinicius Jr. frustrating. Jude Bellingham, who grew into the game later on, but in the first half, couldn't get into the game. You understand? But yeah, obviously, we know what happened, man. In the second half, Madrid got a penalty. Mbappe, his one moment that he had, got a pen. Vinicius Jr. over absolute horrific miss. And then the game went to extra time, penalties, and Madrid have found a way to win, man. Unbelievable, man. But yeah, it's just how Madrid do it. They find a way, man. It's just the history of Madrid. And it's so unfortunate because the way Madrid were able to win this game is because Julian Alvarez, his penalty in the shootout, he ended up slipping. And I think the ball accidentally hit his other foot before it went in, which obviously was disqualified. You get me? From the replay, it's hard to see. However, clearly VAR must have seen it, innit? So yeah, Real Madrid have found a way to eliminate Atletico Madrid in the round of 16 and will now play Arsenal in the quarterfinals.
Is the Champions League rigged to make sure they find a way to let Real Madrid win? Because now looking at that, I don't know if that's double contact. So Julian Alvarez scores his penalty, and then essentially it's been ruled out because they believe he's touched the ball twice, it's double contact. Now I've watched the video loads of times and maybe he gets like the slightest touch on it, but I couldn't tell you for sure. It's like maybe his foot skimmed it and he scores the penalty still. And then VAR intervenes and starts looking at it. Now my first thought is, well, he scored the penalty. It's really hard to tell. Maybe there has been a tiny bit of contact. Not that that's really going to impact the penalty, but I guess a rule is a rule. But maybe they'll let him retake the penalty. Because I get if he took a touch, then shot, and it was really obvious. But this wasn't clear and obvious for me. Like, every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, maybe he has because of the slip and the way it was, but, like, it doesn't look super clear. Like, if I was an Atleti fan, I'd be absolutely livid. Like, I've never seen a team as lucky as Real Madrid in the Champions League. They'll play crap, they'll win, they'll get decisions go their way. Come on, imagine if this happened to Arsenal and the outrage from Arsenal fans online. Real Madrid, Arsenal next.
Vinny Jr. just missed a penalty that could have sent Real Madrid into the round of 16. It all starts from a Jude Bellingham pass into Mbappe. Mbappe takes on two Atletico players at once. This is the Mbappe we know and love. He's taking them on, cooks one defender, cooks the second defender, and ultimately gets pulled down in the box. Penalty for Real Madrid. Now, this penalty is extra important because Atletico scored within the first 30 seconds of the game, making it 2-2 on aggregate. Not only did Real Madrid need this penalty, but they needed to put it in the back of the net. And the miss, how bad this penalty was. Look where the ball ended up. This is no disrespect to Vinny. I appreciate him as a footballer, but come on, this needs to be a goal. I can't believe it. If Real Madrid don't find a way to advance into the round of 16, they deserve to lose this game.
They've invented new ways of robbing teams. How do you rob a team in a penalty shootout? I mean, at this point, you cannot compete. You will never be able to compete. They found a new way. They found a new way to rob teams. Imagine robbing a team during a penalty shootout. I've never seen that happen in the sport. Robbing a team in a penalty shootout. What do you mean he hits the ball twice? The brother scores a penalty and they take it away from him. Where does he hit it twice? I'm genuinely confused. I'm looking. I see a gap. I see a gap between the ball and the foot. I see a gap. What is the issue here? But then when you see who's refereeing the game, when you see who's the referee, and you find that it's the same referee that robbed Bayern in last year's Champions League, when Bayern scored a clear goal and they marked it down as offside, and that goal would have eliminated Real Madrid. It's no surprise anymore. At this point, bro, it's impossible. Even during Ramadan, the devil's out. The devil's supposed to be hibernating. It's supposed to be out of here. But these guys find a new way. They find a new way to defy logic with the referees in a penalty shootout. I will never see that. We will never genuinely see anything like it ever again in the sport. If that's not proof to you that there's some sort of magic, some sort of weird energy going around with this club in the Champions League, then I don't know what will. We can't compete.
What have we just witnessed, bro? In my 50 years of watching football, I have never seen a call like this in my life, bro. I didn't even know VAR can get involved in penalty shootouts. This is more than just dark magic, man. Somebody needs to go investigate what's in that Bernabeu basement, because they definitely have something locked down there, bro. They've done something. I'm telling you, there's a ritual going down there. You know what the craziest part is? People have been saying VAR is going to be able to cancel out Real Madrid's cheating in the Champions League. They've somehow managed to find a way, bro. This ain't even cheating, because he actually showed him kicking into his own foot. I am beyond baffled right now, bro. And Atletico Madrid, I don't think you're ever going to be able to beat Real Madrid in the Champions League, bro. It's not meant to be. I don't know what it is, but you can never get over that hurdle. And by the way, the penalties in this penalty shootout, world class, man. Sorloth, Mbappe, you had Valverde, Bellingham, all ridiculous. And the fact that Oblak was this close to save Rudiger's goal, ridiculous. Also, Vasquez, I think he's never missed a penalty. Finally missing his penalty, bro. It was bound to happen at one point. And the fact that it happened in this game is great, because for this to be the deciding factor in that penalty shootout would have been criminal. By the way, big up to Ancelotti for taking off Vinicius Jr. That guy was having a horrendous game. If he had stepped up for a penalty, I think Atletico Madrid might have won, bro. They're so in his head. That guy is delirious.
See, my thing with Vinicius Jr. is not just the body language, not just the attitude. It's the way he was relating to his teammates as well on the pitch. We saw the moment where Jude Bellingham won the ball back. And not just Jude screaming at him, you had Carlo Ancelotti and the bench having a go at Vinicius Jr. But why is that, people ask? It's because sometimes on the pitch, Vinny Jr. allows his ego to get the best of him, meaning he tries to be self-centered and do his own thing. And with that kind of game, with so much at stake, it wasn't a day to give that kind of performance. That, on top of the fact that he was misfiring and he missed the penalty. The big moment, he skied it over. A lot of people are saying, oh, Mbappe should have taken it. In hindsight, yeah, everyone can say that. But it was an abysmal performance. Not just Vinny Jr. alone, but just the mentality, the body language. And I spoke about it earlier. I said there are some kind of issues with Mbappe. There were a few times again today where he should have relayed the ball. It almost cost Madrid. And the sad part is, Rodrigo had to be sacrificed. And Rodrigo actually had a good game compared to Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. Wow. Anyways, on to the next one. Good baller. Make sure you follow.
Oh my God, how, every time this team goes through somewhere or another, this time Alvarez scores his penalty, but it's disallowed because his left foot touches the fucking ball before his right foot because he falls over on it. This is insane. This team, you've got to sit there and laugh. You've got to laugh. They have a hold on this comp somehow. That, by the way, to give that is so unbelievably ballsy. And I know it's like the rules, right? He's technically touched it twice, but fucking, I mean, that is one of the harsh, like, most unluckiest things I've ever seen. In that stage of the comp, last kick of the game pretty much, between these two teams, we've got 120 minutes, and it comes down to the fucking little toe hair. The more I think about it, like, I get it's the rules, I get it, but there must be another way around. Like, he's obviously not meant that. It's accident, like, oh... I mean, the obvious argument is don't hit it against your other foot, I guess. It's just so unlucky, ain't it? But let me know your thoughts. I think the big players, by the way, ghosted Real Madrid today, and they've somehow still gone through. Oh, every time. He ran his fucking socks off all game, and he's kind of rewarded with that. Oh, you got to feel for him there. That team, man, have something on this comp. I want to find out what's a juju. It's dark, some sort of Voldemort magic. I don't know what it is.
This man is a psychopath, I'm sure of it. You cannot convince me otherwise. Diego Simeone, at the end of yesterday's game, right, he's G'ing up the crowd, he's G'ing up the players. Where does he get this from? Bear in mind the robbery that we all witnessed yesterday during the penalty shootout. But this is the 5th time he's been knocked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid as an Atletico Madrid manager. 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and now 2025. And he is still reacting like this. That is an elite manager with an elite mentality. He's built different. They've been to 2 finals under him, both against Real Madrid. I mean, how's your luck? 2014, got taken into extra time. The last kick of the game, heartbreak, Sergio Ramos. 2016, penalty shootout, heartbreak. But arguably, this one might top the lot because there was something fishy going on here. I'm sorry. I'm not convinced he's hit that twice. And even if he has, why were they so quick to just disallow it and rule it out and not let him take it again? Say Courtois came off his line a little bit and Alvarez scored. Wouldn't they retake it? Isn't that how it works? They were so close to finally overcoming that hurdle and beating Real Madrid in the Champions League. It would have felt like fate. I probably would have backed them to go all the way with that sort of momentum. But instead, it's been ruled out and it will go down in history as one of the dodgiest Champions League decisions that I can remember. And there's been a few over the years for certain Spanish clubs, let's be honest. But nevertheless, look at these quarter-final games. We are in for an absolute treat.
No, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in my life. They had a VAR check on penalty shootouts. He scored the pen. What do you mean they had a VAR check on a penalty shootout where Julian Alvarez touched the ball twice? He slipped and scored the pen, but it's been ruled out because he touched the ball twice? What have I just seen? And now Oblak have just saved it! Oh my God! Oblak has just saved the penalty! What am I watching? Yo, if Atletico Madrid still qualify for the quarterfinals of the Champions League, well deserved, because how you telling me a goal was ruled out because he touched the ball twice? Just let him retake it. There should be a rule where they retake it. Oh my days, Oblak saved it. Oh my days, what is going on? What is going on?
The only thing they've done all game and they miss it, bro. This is why people say Vinny beach ball. You have just corrected Rodri's Ballon d'Or in one movement. Every Ballon d'Or candidate got exposed. Every Ballon d'Or talk got exposed today and yesterday. Salah, now Vinny, bro. You know what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying. This is the only thing they got in all of 90 minutes, and he missed it. And he missed it, bro. And what irritates me the most is he'll sit there and he'll touch that UCL badge. He'll touch that UCL. Bro, what happened to people being humble, bro? Karma is real, bro. Karma is real. You have to be humble in order to be rewarded. Be humble so you get rewarded, bro. Look at you, bro. You touching the UCL badge and you're missing pens. And Rodri, bro. Poor Rodri winning the Euros. Clutch, Euro CDM, bro. You see? You see, when you were injured, Real Madrid were performing. When Rodri went injured, Man City looked like their championship level. The second division, they look like their championship level. That's the difference, bro. That is the difference, bro.
I have watched this 100 times and I still do not see a double tap. Nothing. And you guys know me. You know I love Real Madrid. But we're going to be fair here because this is a crazy controversial call to make in a moment like this with such magnitude. Like, we are watching the actual replay. The ball does not touch his left foot. He plants his foot and kicks it properly.
This Vinny guy is so shameless, bro. What are you doing? You've just had one of the worst performances I've ever seen you have. And you're out here putting a jacket on the floor and pointing at it towards the Atletico Madrid fans. Crazy, man. And this right here in front of the Atletico Madrid fans. Insanity, man. But anyways, that penalty miss was absolutely criminal. And shockingly, his first Real Madrid penalty miss, which is ridiculous. I never thought he was a good penalty taker. But the fact that this is his first is crazy to me. also, I don't know why he's trying to hit that with so much power, man. I know you want to rub it in the Atletico Madrid fans, but come on, man. Just aim on one spot and take it. And also, Mbappe is the one that won it. I thought he would have demanded to take that, man. He's the man for these kind of moments. Anyways, I'm making this video because I've seen a lot of people talk about Vinicius Jr. and how this penalty miss is a stain on him and this nonsense. And firstly, his team are through to the next round, so this penalty miss means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. He definitely would have held some corn if his team got knocked out, because this would have been a decided fact. Don't be reactionary, bro. This guy single-handedly helped Real Madrid win 2 Champions League, 2 of their last Champions Leagues, keep in mind. And also, he has stepped up in the biggest of games for them. 12 months ago, he was doing it against Bayern Munich and them, man, bro, when they needed him the most. So this penalty miss is not really going to be a stain on his name or his legacy at all, bro, because we've seen Ramos, Ronaldo's miss crucial penalties for Real Madrid in the knockout stages. Let's be honest with each other, man. Every big player has missed the penalties. It's not like Vinny's the first player to miss it, but I will say absolutely criminal and a stinky performance from him tonight. And the fact that Ancelotti didn't even trust him to take a penalty and subbed him off goes to show how bad he was tonight. But also this season, he's just not been good at all, man. He's been so below par, below his level in such big games. He definitely needs to start turning around in the next stages, bro. Hopefully not against Arsenal. Maybe in the league, because hopefully Arsenal knocked them out. And I think the Ballon d'Or got to his head, man. The way everything panned out, he definitely thought that he had won it just like we thought he'd won it. And on the day, it turns out a different player had won.
He doesn't touch his foot. I've watched that replay back about 40 times now in slow motion. I'm honestly convinced that ball does not touch his foot. And how they have jumped to that decision so quickly in that penalty shootout to rule out that penalty and say that it definitely touched that foot, I have no idea. I've watched it back. I've scrolled in the slowest thing that I can get it to, and I've watched it. The ball doesn't look like it changes. It definitely does. It's not obvious that it hits his foot, certainly. Honest, I can't remember seeing something like that in a penalty shootout. And I feel like, even if that is a rule, right, that is an unfair rule. Surely, because it's accidental, and because it doesn't give an advantage to the penalty taker, if anything, it's a disadvantage, surely it should be a retake. That is mental. And honestly, please, go back and watch that. There's footage of it on Twitter and you can really slow it down. I'm convinced he doesn't touch it. I'm absolutely convinced he doesn't touch it. And Matt, any other club but Real Madrid get it. Of course they do. And Atletico Madrid actually might be the unluckiest team that I've seen. I mean, Oblak with that final penalty as well. It's actually right there, mate. Catch the ball or palm it wide. Oh my God, he does not touch it.